There are signs you'll find on more than 75 streets in Indianapolis. But one city-county councilor says the enforcement of the residential permit parking zones, at best, he says, spotty. RTV6's Katie Hines live in Lockerbie Square with details on how the council could toughen the penalty for parking in some of the growing neighborhoods in our city. Katie, fill us in.
Raphael, we're on one of those streets in one of those neighborhoods, and you can see this signs just like this one all over the city saying resident permit parking only. But two of the people that we talked to today say they think the signs are confusing and rarely enforced. We were over in Fletcher Place neighborhood earlier today, and we talked to Rick Truix. He's lived there for 15 years. He tells me that he's seen the number of restaurants, businesses, and apartment buildings grow in that time. Truix says some of the overflow parking is spilling onto his street. It's a residential permit parking zone, but if you look at the vehicles, few drivers have those required free permits. City-County Councilor Jeff Miller confirms the zones were created as part of an executive order more than a decade ago, but he says enforcement is spotty. He's proposing to add the residential zones into city code along with a $100 fine for violations. I asked if that fine is new.
That's a great question, because with it not being on the books, it probably was up to the officers what they wrote.
It gets frustrating sometimes when you have to half a block carry 10 loads of tools, or sometimes even a block. The worst it was ever, I couldn't get within 2.5 blocks.
A city council committee is scheduled to review this idea later this week on Thursday, and you can right now and will continue to be, if that does go through, able to request a parking zone for residential permits only on your street or in your neighborhood. Some of the factors that DPW considers when determining whether to put up these signs is if lack of parking is a chronic issue, also if there's any access to off-street parking. Reporting live tonight, Katie Hines, RTV6.